And sure, Johnny, it's 11:15 a.m. December 7th. So don't fall for their hustle or in response to bullshit. Um, so these people are doing so every second of their day they're trying to threaten me, slander me, misrepresent me, frame me. Any word I say out loud in my house or think, they're looking for a way to spin it, misrepresent it, orchestrate a frame in their manipulation system they call a truth system. Then they are then trying to coerce crime and punishment with underground experiment rings, underground implantation rings, um, orchestrate frames to these people with software that interacts with these implantable devices in my heart, brain, genitals, lungs, etc. So that's what they do all day. So all day long, they sit around just antagonizing me, which is also a threat, and psychologically torturing me and abusing me, waiting for me to speak, waiting to capture something, even a few words, then misrepresent it, spin it, put it in their frame system, and course crime, harm, murder, what have you, theft, etc. They also use their manipulation systems. They call it true system, or their manipulation system. They call it true system. That's better than nonverbal. Um, to justify theft and crime. So they have some delusion they can make up a game and make up rules and then commit crimes and make up random rules and then you know according to their rules, if you don't follow them or whatever rule they make up, they think they can just steal your property. So they think they can just make up a game and like see someone's property or houses, or let's say there's a rich guy, they can just make up some game, make up some rules, pretend that guy's playing it or agreed to it when he didn't, and then just commit crimes and then like steal and sell his house. These people are delusional and they need to go to prison. But regardless of that, I'm under constant threat 24/7 for 5 years and 9 months. This is a constant cycle of witness tampering, threats and intimidation through misrepresentation, slander, attempts of frames, assault, and more. It's also psychological torture. These people need to go to prison. I'm perfectly fine. I'm dealing with it myself. But yeah, these guys need to go to prison. I mean, anyone who doesn't see that's witness tampering, as well as psychological torture, being in a state of constant threat and constant fear of being framed, harmed, or murdered. Yeah, that's definitely psychological torture. So that's 40 years in prison, in the least. So aren't these terrorists, thugs, and criminals involved with repeated accounts of aggravated assault and robbery, slander with malice and attempt to murder, psychological torture, witness tampering, sexual torture, attempts at other forms of torture? Why aren't they in prison? And who has more than criminal negligence not arresting these human rights and civil rights violators and murderers? And yeah, don't fall for their logging system hustle attempt to frame. That's their favorite frame. They'll see me say something downstairs in the kitchen, and then they won't log it or report it honestly. They'll watch me via telepathy. See, I'm about to go report it on YouTube. They'll log it under someone else's name. They'll be like, he stole from our archive or he stole our information. And now I'm on YouTube saying what I said downstairs while I was getting this coffee in this coffee cup. You are fearless. And I have no clue. And then they're doing a logging system hustle. So that's just one of their favorite frame tactics is they just wait for me to say something out loud and then try to report it before I get to a computer or whatever. Or I drop key analysis, they try to report it before I go to YouTube or write to law enforcement. And that's what they sit around doing all day, 24/7. So if you're monitoring people and you see those people stalking me 24/7, those are key people involved with attempted murder through these frames and these punishment systems. So look for people stalking me 24/7. Those are key murderers, at least a lot of them. Maybe not all of them. Maybe some are catching these guys. But many of them are. And look for people involved with logging system hustles. Those are key people involved with frames and attempted murder in their punishment system. Bet my life on it. As well as big time betting manipulation. Because they also use their logging system frames to coerce punishment and crimes, to then get implantable devices in my brain, heart, genitals, lungs, what have you, in order to get devices to then give software to these people who use the control systems for the implantable devices, and then they use those for betting manipulation. So look for those guys too, as those are key betting manipulators, the people involved with the logging system hustle frames, as well as the people who control the implantable devices, as well as the people who operate the satellite to use my coordinate, as well as the implantation people. Key point. And then as well as the people who don't report honestly, I guess the investigators who are really criminals and betting manipulators and terrorists.